Got no traveling shoes.
All right, lighten up, boys and girls. Today's show is brought to you by Canadian Hunter. Okay, this is about as cheap a whiskey as you can get in the United States, and they still let it be sold to human beings. And since it's Saturday afternoon, and I am a country music songwriter of notoriety in the past, we are going to toast. I'm not going to name anybody. Shalom, cheers, break a leg, whatever your religion may be. No, this is my disguise, so nobody can tell who I am. Anyway, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to expound on the events of yesterday and this morning. And I know that there's a lot of questions. I would like y'all are all smart. Ask me some hard questions about the shed or anything like that. I'd love to answer, but I'm going to just launch into this thing. As you know, yesterday I went on this Blog Talk Radio, which is, I'm impressed. And I met with Miss Amy, and we had a chat. Well, I was pretty upfront, but apparently it didn't work. I truly thought that the unspoken contract was, if she'll stop talking about me, then I'll stop talking about her, which I really intended to do. Okay, I said before that I wasn't going to spotlight her. I did not say I was going to let her walk over me like that. Well, she went less than 24 hours, and before long, she had twisted that entire interview. She said, number one, she said I dominated and interrupted and took up the whole show. That did not happen. I think I had 5 minutes or less, okay? And in that 5 minutes or less, I explained profoundly, very simply, I did not place any items in the shed. I had nothing to do with it. I saw what came out of the shed was placed on the curb. I have no idea if that was all of the items or part of the items. I have no idea if there's anything left. I was told very recently when I brought it up to family that, well, you know, some of that stuff's still in there. A Mormon man, Temple Mormon. Now, let me explain to you what a Temple Mormon is, okay? A Mormon can be anybody that says, yeah, I'm a Mormon, gets baptized in a Mormon church, and they think it's real cool to be a Mormon. A Temple Mormon won't have a glass of water with you if you're not a Temple Mormon, okay? So the Temple Mormon over there, for all I know, went out there and found drugs, marijuana, rolling papers, coffee, soiled panties, condoms, any of that. He most likely took everything in that shed that belonged to that person and put it in the burn pit in his backyard and burned it up to purify the ground. Utah's one of the few places in the country that still shoot you if you elect to be shot, because they really believe that if they shoot you and your blood touches the floor or the ground, all your sins are forgiven, you get to go to heaven. Very interesting people. But at any rate, I thought the interview went very well, and I was really relaxed. I thought, okay, I really thought that I'd turned my back on some friends, because if I didn't keep my upfront approach to Amy, then it looked like I was backing down. I was actually trying to give her a back door out. She didn't take it. Never does. Okay. She hit the day that I had manipulated the entire thing. I had set up the entire thing. I had exposed myself, which she's going to take to a very famous FBI agent. The advertisement video I put up, saying that I hoped I got on, and so many people are going to get on. Many people called and texted me saying that there was going to be a blog talk with her on it, and that I should be there to see what she says about me. Many people across many media that told me that. So it's not, you can't just zero it down to Facebook or one Facebook group or one Facebook person or one email. Many people. Now, as you know, we went to extreme lengths there, me and old Amy Sean, and broke the arrow and all that kind of stuff. And I promised her I would get in touch with the owner of the house and see if there's anything left in the shed. Well, since she reneged, I'm going to renege. Whatever happens, happens. I know she's not. She doesn't know the address, okay? And I know if she ever found it out and she stomped up there on that Temple Mormon, that he's going to do what Temple Mormons do. And I met several when I was in Utah, and you won't like the solution. And that's Amy's problem. Shalom. Now, she's in a complete in my opinion, see, I'm not playing doctor either. In my opinion, she is in complete manic mode right now. I think, even 4 or 5 videos today where Johnny Vodka took, I mean, no, I'd like to run the guy down. I really would, you know, but the thing is, right now in Texas, it's a nice day. It's 72 degrees here. See this T-shirt? I just went to buy this whiskey in this T-shirt. That's how warm it is. It's nice. So I know it's fairly nice down there. And, you know, it was nice this morning. And he walks down the store to get some beer. I would love to make fun of that and everything, but except for fucking shorts. That's the only thing that's all that was wrong was the shorts. I don't fault the man for going and getting some beer. In fact, he's living with Amy. He needs a lot of beer. In fact, he needs... But anyway, she took off after me with a 4-clawed attack today. So, and as usual, she always says I'm stalking her, I'm hurting her, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. All I did was answer what she said. I played by the rules she set. And I played it with video with her voice on it. Welcome to my world. It's probably the Good Old Boy Network. Anyway, she took off after me with a bear claw attack and everything when there was no reason for it. Because I had already extended the olive branch. I had already said, okay, look, not only will I not pick on you no more if you don't say my name, I'll actually take my time and trouble. If it is, I'll get with the owner and say, look, she's going to show up here and you just have the police here to witness the transfer and you give her what you find. You're not legally liable for what was in the shed when you bought the house. I was going to help her. Okay? And I really was. But she went into manic mode and now she's making, my God, she makes more videos than you can shake a stick at. Okay? But that's because I intend to publish this video. And I don't want anybody to be embarrassed or anything like that. And this 911 call. She distributed that 911 call herself. And there's 1 or 2 people that are watching me now that might have gotten it in one way or another and got a little guilty feeling and everything. You're not the only one. You're not, like John Lennon said, you're not the only one. You know? I got that from 2 or 3 different sources, including Jackie. Yeah. And that's why you notice how some people got cut off, got blocked last night because she's not quite sure who Sleepy Bitch is. Okay? It's as simple as that. Myself today, I started on a very positive note. I'm working on a series of videos called Twins News.
Cut. This is Twins News.
My twin grandsons have come up with an idea for Twins News. It's going to be wacky. Like, they've come up with an idea. Of course, Puck is the director and the cameraman. Donald Trump has struck a deal with the Chinese to give them rice, and they're going to give him the Great Wall of China, which he's going to bring over here and build the wall that he's talking about building. Wrap your finger around that, you know. It's funny, and it's children. We work on Carrie's kitchen all the time, where Puck goes in and she cooks and everything like that. So I have more positive things in my life. But now, with the people, and like I said, without naming names, the 2 ladies, you know, y'all have been wronged. Yes, y'all have been wronged. And as Amy's story gets out there, she's diminished from 5,000 friends to 350. That is, my God, 4,650 people that just are not. Yeah, that tells something, okay? Also, if you want to see her videos without having to try to sneak into her page, just type in Amy Charron on YouTube. And when you see a video that looks familiar with the name down there, Amy Charron, just click on Amy Charron and you'll see all the videos she puts on YouTube. Now, not Facebook, because she's not smart enough to do what I'm going to do with this video, but what she puts on YouTube. I did. And she came right back, you know, with this stuff. I'm not going to let up on this one. Now, I'm not going to make her the center of my attention, like Robert Beatty. I've got other things. Anyway, in the butcher shop, Mr. Souter, who wrote a real article about the upcoming 28th Amendment, which is really interesting. I'll be putting it up here tomorrow for you guys, you know, on Facebook to read and everything. And he agreed to become a member of the butcher shop. So that makes there's 10 of us now. Not many members of the butcher shop, Very, very, very select few members. If any of you write, and you write about politics, comedy, op-ed, whatever, send it to me, and if it's good, it's really got to be good, okay? It's really got to be good. We'll bring you on, okay? But y'all think of some questions. Ask me some questions. Because I'm totally open. I did not steal Amy Charron's stuff. I have no need for Amy Charron's stuff. Fun of it the other day saying $5. That's not $5. That's a Chinese pot, friends. That's a Chinese teapot where I make my tea. So no, it's not. I don't need anything Amy's got, and I damn sure ain't made no passes at her. Okay, okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You seen that picture of her with that Star Trek or Star Wars setup? First time I ever saw Amy's picture, it was a Star Wars setup. Okay, and I was gonna screw her. Hey, I'm a songwriter. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. So, Lord, I'm sorry I did that. Unfortunately, when Princess Leia got out of the truck, it went from Star Wars to the Green Mile. And that's the truth. Also, I saw through, she called me nonstop. Literally, we had back in those days, 2010 or so, cell phones didn't hold charge very long, and she very quickly depleted my phone. Okay, and so eventually my son got a hold of the phone, told her to go fuck herself, and that was the end of the relationship, pretty much. And Jackie, Jackie, she wanted to make a video expounding her plight, and so Jackie was going to call her and talk to her, was going to produce her video. And what Jackie had the idea was, and she would say something like, 243 children have been killed this year in the Texas foster system, and say 1,400 children have been lost in the system. And then it would go a deep shadow, say, and why do I know these things? Because I'm Amy Charron. Okay, now what that did was, number one, it's classy as hell. Number two, it's real statistics. Number three, she wasn't known at the time at all. She's not known very much now. But what Jackie was trying to do is, look, when she says the words, and how do I know this? I'm Amy Charron. It makes the watcher say, who the hell is Amy Charron? My God, look at this, And they get to digging, it makes her notoriety more. Well, she rejected it. She wanted to do like she's doing right now, expel very serious charges. I'm so targeted. I'm so that and everything. Jackie went through the same problems with the CPS. She never used the word targeted. I think now in the introduction of the movie Traveling Shoes, she does a little thing at the Capitol building where she talks about the CPS. And these people that try to break up families are the CPS. And then nervously she stands in front of the UT Tower and says, well, we Texans sure know how to take care of business. And it zeroes in on the tower and converts to an old news footage with Charles Whitman shooting people.
And like the men at the Alamo, we have to take matters into our own hands. Well, we Texans sure know how to take care of business.
Like that. But other than that, the only thing Jackie ever said about the CPS was, as an aside, during the end of that film, she looked at me and said, is this shit anything I should be even talking about?
Is this shit something I should be talking about?
Because she never liked to bring it up in public, and especially not point toward herself, okay? So, yeah, that's how I met Amy. And yes, I had lost my grandchildren at that time. I was separated from my family. I had what I thought was a fairly beautiful woman that was wanting to come live with me in hiding, okay? She had said that. Yeah, you can come up. She's a woman. I'm a man. I'm not gay. But what I see, I really can't, I kind of like them small, smaller than that. I'm not making fun of her weight. I'm not going to do that. But I would kind of like, make them a little smaller, than that. And quite a bit younger. Not children. Don't even go there. Where Amy, she's always trying to say she's such a moral person and all this kind of stuff. When we have films of her in front of a motel with a young boy, We've got it. And he's like, oh my God.
Oh, how do you feel about this, roommate?
It's drastic.
We've got it. And he's like, oh my God, how do I get in this? How do I, man, if I can get $2, I can get on a bus, man, and get out of here, you know. You never catch me in a situation like that. I've been married 6 times, no lie, all stand-up Christian and everything. All of my wives have been within 4 years of my age. Even Brenda, whom I married in Mexico, within 4 years, okay? I'm not attracted to people who are, well, now I'll be honest with you. Now that I'm 67, I can mess with a 37-year-old and still get a young woman and feel like I'm a pervert. When you're as old as I am, you know, any girl, a 30-year-old, oh my God. You know, and yeah, one thing, I'm no danger to women because our sponsor today is not a cure for ED. You know, like LMFAO said in California years ago, I was out there. And if she have a hissy fit, cause you whiskey dick, here's what say. Sorry for party rocking. No, I'm not a bird dog. I'm not a woman now. I'm really not. You know, I'm actually, truth be known, I'm happily married to Pamela. She's up in Utah taking care of the kids. I'm down here. Joe and her got married on a civil ceremony so she could get military insurance and take care of Puck. And he was dying of lung cancer and Agent Orange, and we both took care of him. We're both Catholic. I was in the Legion of Mary with Joe's wife before she died, and we knew the deal. Pam and I were married at St. Joseph's Catholic Church in 1989, and we never annulled the marriage. Case number, let me look at this, hold on. No, she dodged that. When I told her, have Johnny get the case number, and I had my pen ready and everything, she immediately jumped the subject. I want you to notice that. And that's not an accident, that's contrived.
Right. Here's what I want you to talk about. Now, you've accused me of stealing all of your stuff, and I want you to explain to the audience, detail by detail, how I did that.
All right. So I don't have the dates in front of me, but approximately, we'll go with approximate, on the very day that I won the case against Officer Kenneth Truce, who retaliated against me, which you don't know if our history went back on, going all the way back to CPS when my daughter was first taken.
I give you the case number. I'm just going to give it to Ted because he talks to the FBI every day. Okay, if you're talking about drinking, unlike Amy, I won't lie, she was not a heavy drinker when she was here. Steve Steele, he wasn't what I call a heavy drinker. I mean, look what I'm doing. He's shit, you know. But he wasn't a heavy drinker either, but he drank more than one. But what she would do is she'd ceremoniously open one can of Modelo or one bottle of Modelo, and she'd sip on it. Now, she did want my son, Timmy, to line her up with some hydro.
Marijuana, Australiana, cheaper than booze, safer than pills, make you sing like Frank Sinatra.
I got too many cops hanging around here. Yeah, that's right, Amy. I got cops hanging around here who are friends of mine. Right. So I don't let people sit around this table here and smoke marijuana, you dumb bitch. I mean, come on. So I said, hey, I can get you any kind of drink you want, you know. I'm from Austin and Nashville, and I really was in country music. I really was. I can do the whiskey thing. Trust me. I can do the whiskey thing. In fact, the whiskey for me is medicinal. I've got a bad leg. I got crushed in between 2 cars in 1970. And if I don't drink any whiskey at all, and I can do that, I mean, it's no big deal. I can do that and drink coffee at night. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. Well, I get up in the morning, it takes 2 aspirins in about an hour or two before I can pop all the kinks out of my dang right leg and walk right. If I have cocktails at night, I get up in the morning and I walk the coffee pot in my slippers and my bathrobe. It's as simple as that. I don't know what it does, but it helps. So I don't really think I'm going to, change, and I don't really think it's going to do anything. And I don't have a drinking problem. I can afford anything I want. I drink this stuff because it tastes good. I discovered this up in Utah. They have state liquor stores up there, and they got a sign about this. And so when we found it, we go in there, and they don't have a large selection. And they treat you like you're in a pharmacy when you check out. But they had this stuff here, and it was inexpensive. Like, they would be out of Jim Beam or Jack Daniels or Southern Comfort or anything, or Regal, anything that you want to drink. But they had this damn Hunter stuff. So we bought a couple of bottles of it, me and Ted. That's pretty good whiskey. And there ain't a hangover in there. That's the weird thing. I call it Mormon whiskey because there's no hangover. Yeah. But see, that's where Amy denies. She denies what she is and denies what she does. I just live my life. I just live my life, and I don't lie about it, and I don't hurt anybody. And I only answer her videos. That's all I do. I answer her videos. I don't just wake up in the morning and concoct some idea and jump on her. I really thought, just like one of our people on Facebook said today, I really thought she'd back off you. So did I. I was kind of like, hey, I got time to do more stuff now. I don't have to sit here and make Amy movies or anything. I think she enjoys, there's two things I think is going on here. She enjoys the attention. I know that. Okay, she's got to see this and freak the fuck out. But that's the whole truth. She's met me here at the house in person on the back porch. She knows the real me. And I can see that little squirm. I can see that wet spot in the chair. You know, I've been in country music so long. I used to focus my attention on one girl in the audience from Nashville and watch her squirm. You know, I'm actually good at this public media thing. Now, I'm no Romeo. I'm damn poor with women. I can't pick up with any signal with lipstick standing naked by my bed, and I still ask them 10 questions to make sure we're okay here. You know, I'm just not that cool with women. I never have been. I grew up in Antebellum, Louisiana in the 1950s, and my grandmother and my mother hit me with an iron skillet and told me to respect women. I still got the knots on my head, and I still respect women. Simple as that. But I've written songs, and oh, there you go again. Let's go again. Yeah, my songs are rude.
Fuck you, Texas, and fuck you, Lone Star Beer. Fuck that fucking Alamo and fucking Longhorn Steer. Fuck every Dallas cowboy that ever drawed a breath. Fuck you, Texas, and fuck you, Plumhead.
I tried to write for Willie. In fact, I knew Susie Nelson. She produced 2 of my first records. Okay? I tried to write for Johnny Carter Cash and Johnny Cash. And Johnny Carter bought me lunch many times. Okay? But I couldn't do it. My stuff was, every now and then I write something like Dear Mary, or I Can Almost Smell Your Hair, stuff like that. And they would be good, but they would not be country. So, but I was doing a stage show at Pennington's Lounge at the Ramada Inn across from the Grand Ole Opry. And I draw a pretty good crowd. And so we'd already cut the album at United Artists. And I began to sell that. And I had to get around Roy Acuff, i.e. wait for him to die, before I could get distribution. About that same time, Steve Jobs brought up iTunes, and so we had distribution. The interesting note about Weird Will Rise Again is when I recorded it at Berry Hill Recording Studios, little Jackie was 3 years old and sat on my lap during almost the entire session. I had to reach around her to play the guitar sometimes. When she was 21 years old in Austin, she remastered it, did the videos, and got the copyright permissions and everything for iTunes. That stuff I put up today, that album's her whole life, and she owns 1/3 of it. Okay. I mean, come on, I'm going to get racial about this, but Jackie is a Jew. I would love to, Amy and Johnny Baca's night to be thrilled with Bill the Butcher. Anyway, I would like to say, nobody's going to jail. Nobody's going to jail. Amy is a person with a mental history. The police know who she is. They know what she's doing. Adventurous enough to come here and ask me questions. Watch the videos. In fact, I'll get a package and email them to you. Sit up all night, drink beer, and watch them. I've threatened nobody. And honestly, gosh, if she stops mentioning my name, I won't mention hers. but she won't. Yeah, I know. The narcissistic part of her personality won't let her. I believe, from what I've read today, that Gene is getting tired of her. He's asking, well, how can I do this if you're, can't do this, and how can I do that if you can't do that and everything? There is no, in my opinion, there is no famous TV show coming out in March concerning homeless vets. Ask yourself, if she's helping homeless vets, why is she screaming out in the yard at night that she thinks some homeless person is on her grounds, where she's at? I'm helping homeless vets, but I'm scared of homeless people. And as for that stuff hanging in the tree, that could be counting coup. That could be. More than likely, it is a person with a problem who put that stuff up there herself. I mean, that's the easiest answer. Sneak in the shed or trailer where she's living, take personal items like that and do all that. And after all, she has many game cameras that didn't catch anything. And she always was going to put up her camera, but something happened. Facebook took it or whatever.
Have you heard the word about the herb superb? You can take it from an ogre like me. Just take a toke for a bit of a joke and you're out of your cool bar tree. And the bloke next door, he wants to call the cops because you're smiling and looking happy. He should plant a few seeds and grow a few weeds and the world don't look so crappy. Talk about marijuana, Australiana, cheaper than booze, safer than pills, make you sing like Frank Sinatra. Marijuana, definitely top banana. It's the greatest craze since the Tivoli days. You can buy from your nearest farmer. I was laying a rave on this cocky about changing some of our laws. I said, they arrest us folks as grass and they lock us up indoors. He said, birds, you're right, for smoking them drugs, they lead to the hardest stuff. But then I found he was growing a whole plantation, because life on the land's a bit tough. Growing that marijuana, Australiana, cheaper than booze, safer than pills, make it sing like Norman Guns. Marijuana, definitely top banana. It's the greatest craze since the Tivoli days. You can buy it from the nearest farmer. Well, I suppose some of you want to know where you're allowed to get a deal on good city house. That's one in every town. There's one in every town. And the best place to get sticky ends full of hash oil. Yes, folks, is from the go to Darwin, to the Bondi Beach, yes, from Hobart to Darwin, Albury to Wodonga, Griffiths to Lebanese House, wherever the police hands your backyard, into your backyard, even the dogs in the streets, no, the drug squad, they have the best, they pinch from the people they bust, and they'll sell you some for a bloody great property, but you can't find the one you can trust. And apart from that, all the doctors, they got to keep up the country's tax. So when the pills and the grub start to rot your old body, got a much better way to relax. Smoking that's marijuana, Australiana, cheaper than booze, safer than pills, make it sing like Joan Sutherland. Marijuana, definitely top banana. It's the greatest craze since the Tivoli days. You can buy from the nearest farmer. Smoke a reefer, smoke a reefer, smoke a reefer, smoke a reefer. Now I'm not saying you smoke the old grass. It'll stuff up your lungs. And smoking, it makes you old. Instead of healthy and young, have a ball. Let's plant a few seeds, grow a few weeds, rip off a head or two, and boil up the billy. For a cup of herbal tea, you'll get the right point of view. Smoking that marijuana, Australiana, cheaper than booze, safer than pills, make it sing like, come on. I'm so marijuana, definitely top banana. It's the greatest craze since the Tivoli days. You can buy from your nearest farmer. Talk about marijuana, Australiana, cheaper than booze, safer than pills, make it sing like the birds in spring. Marijuana, definitely top banana.